very smart, very intelligent. In a normal, when you talk to your friends and friends says, "Oh, look at my phone, this is beautiful," and then your friend tells you you see that this is what I do with the phone. So, looking at the blind man, a girl married to the blind man. After a few weeks, that girl was in pain and the grief. Why, look at my honey. He is blind. He is intelligent. So what the girl did? The girl covered her eyes with their clothes, and she also pretended to be blind. Now the blind man, who was blind by birth, he learned how to live and do his work in blindness. But this girl has to learn because she was posing to be blind.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was posing to be blind. And the girl is crazy. Why you pose to be a blind? You should have helped your honey to take care of the daily chores. But she did the opposite. So now this blind man has to teach the girl how to do daily work. She posed, she is not blind.
Mhm.
So blind man already had one problem and now he is facing the second problem. So this blind man is our mind. And the girl is our intellect.
Mhm.
Mhm. So if the girl follows the mind, the intellect also becomes blind. Then it does not think. Otherwise, the girl should have cooperated in all the activities of a blind man, but opposite happened. What is that opposite happened? That blind man, the girl became dependent on the blind man. Do you see that? The girl should never pretended to be blind so that she could help the blind man. They should have a beautiful life. But instead opposite happened. Oh, I have a fever. I have a fear and I'm upset. Blind man. I got upset over Sienna. I'm just giving an example.
Mhm.
Now the intellect should have thought, mind, come on, why you should be upset over Sienna? Is there any reason?
No.
No. No reason. But the blind man takes over the intellect, so whatever the blind man says, the girl has to follow. So then we get upset for hours together. We get into anxiety for hours together. Then we have lot of fears because intellect is also made blind. We stop thinking whatever the mind says we follow. Oh, there is a fear. Yes, there is a fear. There is anxiety. Yes, there is an anxiety. I'm upset. Yes, I'm upset. Don't touch me. Show me where you got upset.
In the mind.
Where is your mind? Ah, your mind is here. So you are upset here. Ah, did your forehead change?
No.
I want to see. Upset. This is the intellect thinks like this. When the intellect thinks like this, your upset and fear drops. By the way, the mind is present in every cell of the body. Am I telling a lie?
No.
No, but then why you said that mind is here?
Because that's where everybody thinks.
Yeah, so we are learning Eastern wisdom. We have to learn what is right. Can you touch your right toe?
Yeah.
Do you feel the sensation of touch?
Yeah.
Who knows it? Mind. So mind is there also. See? You see,
Yeah.
you're just scratching your eyes. Mind is there also. You smile. Mind is there also on the cheeks. Oh, see that? Mind is everywhere. You have any experience or any knowledge, the mind is there. Do you see me?
Yeah.
Mind is here on me. Mind is everywhere. So the Eastern wisdom, what it does, it removes the wrong notion, it removes the confusion. My young friend, it removes that confusion. So if the intellect, now the girl, if the girl, not pretending that she is blind, but with open eyes, looks at the situation, guides the blind man, that blind man is the mind. There is no fear, there is no anxiety, there is no duality, there is no conflict. Say yes.
Yeah.
So, what has started happening that on a given day you did not have any feeling of negativity, anxiety, duality, conflict, and upset? Your intellect was active throughout the day. The intellect did not become the blind as told by the mind. So you did not have any feeling of upset, anxiety. I was not present with you when you were not upset on the given day. So it was your intellect. We are learning very deeper principles in our life. My goal is that Sienna should become better, successful, freedom from any anxiety being upset. That is my goal. But my goal will be realized if you follow. If you don't follow, will my goal be realized?
No.
Yes, so you have to, my young friend, you have to So, did you understand the story of a blind man and a girl?
Yeah. Yes.
So, girl should marry, there is no problem. The intellect should marry the mind, no problem. But the mind should not take over the intellect. Mind should not dictate the intellect. Where your mind and intellect are, it is with you. It is always with you. It is always with you. And what is intellect? Intellect is knowledge. What is knowledge? Knowledge is awareness. What is mind? It is impulsive and it is instinctive. It goes by its habit. So that mind, because it is impulsive and instinctive, that is why it has an emotions of fear, emotions of confusion, upset. Are you upset now?
No.
Why you're not upset now? Yes, but how you explain it? You are not upset because you are aware. Your intellect is active. But when you are upset, the intellect also poses that I am blind, I will follow the mind, and then you are gone. No one, remember the statement that we are not worthy of suffering. Are you worthy of suffering?
No.
Then why you get upset? Today, Sienna might be thinking, what happened to this weird guy? Why he's asking, are you worthy of suffering? I am not. Why? Mind, blind mind, if I say the blind mind is not dictating my intellect. What is intellect? I'm making you a simple way to understand. What is intellect? Intellect is knowledge. What is intellect? It's knowledge. It is my experience. It is awareness. What thought is coming to your mind? Sometimes I read thoughts also.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
So every time the whole day passed peacefully without being anxious, fear, and upset or sadness, then you have to write to me. I passed, the whole day passed peacefully, and then you have to inquire why it passed peacefully, why I did not get upset. Because the intellect was active. But okay, while talking to mom and the dad and the siblings, my intellect was active. So it prevented the blind mind. It prevented the blind mind. I'm completing the sentence. It prevented the blind mind to trigger. You know the word trigger? To
Yeah.
trigger the fear, sadness, and upset. That's why you were not sad, you were not upset. You were not angry. Because if we know the reason, if we understand it clearly, understand clearly means what? Knowledge is there. So the girl is not posing as a blind. Did you understand that? And what is
Yeah.
the girl? Girl is the intellect. So when the intellect is not posing as being the blind, then you don't have any fear and anxiety. Please become sad. Sienna,
Mhm.
become sad.
Uh,
You're laughing.
yeah. Yeah.
Become sad.
I can't.
I can't. Why you can't? Because it is the intellect. The intellect says I can't. It is the intellect. And when we have sadness, the blind mind is active. You see the example?
Yeah.
Real life example. It's not that, so blind mind is active when I'm sad, when I have an anxiety, when I'm angry. Just become angry. You started
Yeah.
laughing. You see that? You started laughing. Why? Because intellect is active. So when the blind mind is listening to the girl, that is intellect, no one can make you upset. No one can make you sad. No one can make you. Now, all lessons are important, but this lesson, now we are going very deep into practical, so that you are you declare that you are not worthy of suffering. How both are doing? Your dad and mom?
Good, I think.
Good. Did any issue, the mom and the dad, influenced your mind and you thought, what the heck? Pay,
No.
pay attention to yourself, that your mind should not dictate you to be sad, unhappy. Respect, love, respect, love, and adore parents. That is one thing. But never allow the blind mind to get sad, upset, because it is their life. After few years, it is their lives. After few years, you are going to live your independent life. Do you think so?
Yes.
Or you want to live with your dad and mom all the throughout your life?
No.
Always keep in touch. Whenever you have a challenge, you're a very wise Good. So whenever you have any challenge, it's not that as long as we'll continue with the lessons, but anytime I'm with you to guide you on this path of East and West. So we are just talking about this blind man and the girl who posed to be. The moment the girl poses to be blind, that means the intellect, the mind will take over. The mind will say anxiety, upset, duality, conflict, anger, upset, oh, lot of challenges will come. And they both are living in you, with you, all the time. So you have to take a right decision. Right decision means intellect. Can I go a little deeper? This blind intellect and the mind are always, uh, no. Let me put it that way. The mind never realizes crossroad. Intellect always knows what is crossroad.
Intersection.
Yeah, you're right. So intersections. So intersection means many roads, many roads going in different direction. Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm wrong, you interrupt me. Different directions. Yeah, crossroad means. So many choices. Crossroad means I can take right, I can take left, right?
Mm-hmm.
Many choices. Mind does not know crossroads. Intellect always knows crossroads. And both are within you. Mind knows what it knows: fear, anxiety, upset, fight, anger, hesitation, etc. It follows only one direction. Unidirection. Intellect, the moment you make the intellect active, it always knows the crossroads. You can take right, you can take left, you can continue to be angry, you can continue to be upset, or you can continue to be in peace, not affected by anyone from outside. Did you get it? About the mind and the intellect?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it means we are upset because. Can you complete this subset? We are upset because we are upset because the blind man sees only one direction. That is one reason. And intellect also became blind. So when the intellect becomes blind, the intellect also does not see does not see does not see the crossroad, and so we continue to suffer. So we continue to suffer. Who is responsible for suffering?
Um, myself.
And who is that myself? It is the mind.
Yeah.
It is the blind mind. Where is your mind?
Here.
Where?
Everywhere.
Yes. The moment you know, you experience, whether you experience pleasure or pain or upset or sad, mind is there. Why? Because all experiences, all knowledge takes place in the mind. So when the intellect, what I want to say, when the intellect does not follow the blindness of the mind, you are always happy. You're always happy. Then you can declare you are not worthy of suffering. Feeling bored?
No.
No. Live your life. Make your life better and better. You are with me, so I'm always with you at any time. Sometime one girl used to call me in the midnight also. Now I'm in fear. I said, okay, sit up. Let us do the practice. Fear is gone. Sometime again in New Jersey it happened. But she was almost 19, 20 years. Not so young. We will follow with that understanding of the mind and the intellect. Now, with the 4-step relaxation practice. Close your eyes. Eyes are closed. So when you close your eyes, it is the intellect. When I said close eyes, it is intellect. It is intellect. And not only that, it is intellect when I say close your eyes and I say adjust and align your body. That is also your intellect is listening and the mind is doing. Oh, the mind closed the eyes, but it followed. Mind closed eyes, but followed the intellect. My young friend, just check it, adjust and align the body so that you feel comfortable. So, experience of comfort is there in the mind because all experiences takes place in the mind, but the intellect took over the mind. Intellect means eyes open, and the blind man takes over the intellect, then we have a problem. So I told you that we have the preparatory step being comfortable. So now see, look at the neck joint. Look means mentally, means mind is looking. The mind is looking at the neck joint, but it is following intellect. It is following the intellect means it is following the knowledge. What do you mean by following the knowledge? Make it clear. When I say you look at the neck joint, the mind does not look at the toes, it looks at the neck joint. So that is the meaning. The intellect, that is the knowledge. So the mind follows the intellect. So that when mind feels and looks at the neck joint, mind, intellect, just when you are aware of that, my Sienna, you will rise. You'll become much better person, always free from anxiety. So look mentally, look at the neck joint, feel what you feel, sensation, or feel or experience. You experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Pay attention, the intellect is taking over the mind, even in times of being upset or sad. If you do the practice like this, mind, intellect, mind, where you have come, look at the shoulder joint, be there, feel and experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. When mind, the blind, follows the intellect, your experience is sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Means always good. Why always good? Because the intellect chooses what is right and good from the crossroads. See there, what I spoke and then I translated that. So look at the hip joint, be there. Okay, now you're comfortable. So I saw some movement. So hip joint, be there, feel and experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. We are doing a four-step relaxation. We are doing a four-step relaxation with understanding mind and the intellect. Understanding mind and the intellect through contemplation and reflection. Contemplation, reflection, just think that we are thinking. No issue. So now the entire body, looking at all the joints, very good, and then you feel, what do you feel? You feel sensation, comfort, and steadiness. So now we say being carefree. These are the two preparatory steps, and after that, the four steps will come. So, again, being carefree, we will check and understand the mind and the intellect. So, you see or know, thought has come, and the mind follows the thought. It forces the intellect to follow, to chase. So what has become the intellect has also become blind. Now a thought enters the mind. The intellect says, I know, and then the mind does not go anywhere. It is being carefree. Oh, this is what you mean to say. Yes, you have to absorb this knowledge. Any thought, any feeling, any image appears in the mind. So what happened? Unwelcome, uninvited thought, feeling enters the mind. Enters the mind. You experience. Intellect is not there. So then what happens? Uninvited feeling came, and then you have an emotion of sadness or fear. So now the blind mind guides the intellect. So what happens? Then you say, I was upset, I was sad, frustrated, angry, etc., etc. And now the opposite. You see, feel, aware of the thought or the feeling comes and goes. How it is possible? By intellect. Intellect knows it has a crossroad. What do you mean by crossroad? That it knows this thought, it knows that a thought is taking the mind to a direction of sadness. So intellect chooses the other path. Intellect chooses the option. Mind does not have an option. Intellect has an option. So when option is there, then you are free. So these are the two, even in the preparatory step, you find a sense of calmness. And now, why we do the preparatory step? To make the mind down, and we ask the intellect, don't put any cloth on your eyes. That is the meaning. So now in the first step, just remember the first step of 4-step relaxation is sensation and awareness of the major parts of the body. First step is sensation and awareness. So we ask the mind through the intellect, look at the head and the neck, or move the mind on the head and the neck, or feel head and the neck. And what do you experience? Experience sensation and awareness. Simple. Now see that you feel that sensation and awareness. That will throw out all the fears, anxiety, and being upset from your systems. So feel the right arm. Be there. Feel in the mind. So intellect is guiding. When you feel the right arm, you experience sensation and awareness. Feel the left arm. Who feels the mind? Is the mind guiding the intellect? No, the intellect is guiding. Why? Intellect has the choice. What does that mean by choice? I explained you just now. It's a crossroad. So you feel the left arm and experience sensation and awareness. Feel the middle portion of the body, the chest and the belly, shoulder blades and the spine. Sensation and awareness. What is awareness? Knowledge. No, what is the knowledge here? I know here is my middle portion of the body and I feel the sensation and I'm aware. Finished. You're not doing anything. Right leg, mind feels, and you experience sensation and awareness. Left leg, sensation and awareness. The entire body, sensation and awareness. So, this is actually the first step after the preparatory step. And the second step, we should take the mind to experience sensation and stillness in the body. Why in the body? To move the mind within. Why to move the mind within? To explore and to discover peace and happiness, peace and the joy. So look again, the practice is the same, experience is different. The steps are the same. So feel head in the neck and experience sensation and stillness. Feel the right arm and experience the sensation in the stillness. What happens if the mind goes very deep instantly? You may feel tingling, numbness, hot, cold, light, heavy. These experiences, and the more you have these experiences, it is going to help you to get rid of anxiety, fear, being upset, and sadness. So move them. Feel the left arm, sensation and stillness. Feel the middle portion of the body from the shoulder down in the front, chest in the belly, from the shoulder down, shoulder blades and the spine, and experience sensation and stillness. You see, yawning also gives a sign of deep relaxation, but we have not to sleep. The mind goes to the right leg. You see, the mind, and so when I gave you the instruction, it comes from the intellect. What is that intellect? Is the knowledge. So what is that knowledge? Feel the right leg in experience, sensation, and stillness. Where your intellect and mind, it is already within you, with you all this time. So when the intellect is not with you, when the mind takes you, you start thinking something else than doing the practice. You see, oh, that is the blind mind. So left leg, sensation and stillness. The entire body. We are doing a 4-step relaxation of which you are totally aware that we have done many a times, and then we are translating that 4-step relaxation to understand our mind and intellect. Why to understand? So that the blind mind should not lead our life. Knowledge, the right knowledge should lead our life. But why? To be in peace and happiness and joy all the time. But why? Peace and happiness are my essential nature. Second thing, that I am not worthy of suffering. So the entire body, sensation, and the stillness. Second step is done. Third step is asking the mind to accept. What to accept? Let us see. To accept peace is there. Where? Here and now. So look inside the head in the space. When you see the space all around, infinite space. When you see the space or the darkness, say in your mind, I am peace and happiness. I know you cannot say, I am sad, upset at this time. Why? When the intellect is active, means eyes of the intellect are open, the mind cannot rule. So look inside the heart, at the center of the chest, and then look inside the space. Go deep inside your heart. Feel the inner space, and then say in your mind, I am peace and happiness. I am peace and happiness. Looking into the space, looking into the blankness and emptiness. I am peace and happiness. One more time, look inside the heart. Go deep inside the cave of your heart. Cave. When you see that cave and you feel the emptiness, say to your mind, what do you say to your mind? I am peace and happiness. I am peace and happiness. Third step is also done now. And what is the fourth step? Fourth step is keep looking at the breath. Or I would say keep looking the moving breath. So the breath is going in and out. So you keep looking at the breath. So who says to whom? The intellect says to the mind, to the blind mind. Okay? If the mind listens to it, it remains on the breath. When it remains on the breath, then you feel the breath in and out. You do not change the rate and the rhythm of the breath. So what happens then? Then the mind living within for peace and the happiness. But sometime it will happen. Sometime the mind start chasing the thought or fall asleep. Chasing the thought. It's okay. You remember, the intellect finds the crossroad, you return, and you are looking at the thought only. Body moves, means the mind wants to create problem. Use the intellect. Do nothing. So when you do nothing, just check it. You are in peace and the joy. What you did nothing. And if we want to understand what we did, we ask the mind to follow the intellect. Intellect has many choices. I give an example. The intellect is on a crossroads. Mind is not. Why? Because it is impulsive. It is instinctive. It is habitual. Because of the habit, it chooses only one thing. I'm upset, I'm crying, I have a lot of anxiety. What should I do? Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Why we chant? We chant because these chanting are the words triggers the mind to go deeper and deeper. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. How are you feeling now?